Good morning everyone. So today let's discuss the next topic, that is the cytoskeletal structures. Now cytoskeletal structures means these are actually present in the eukaryotic organisms or cells, and they possess a submicroscopic complex supportive framework of protein fibers and tubules. That means they are the supportive structure. Their main function is to provide the mechanical support, maintain shape of cells and its extensions, bring about colloidal changes and regulate the distribution and orientation of cell organelles. Okay, so they are the main supportive framework of a cell. These are basically present in the eukaryotic cells and are not there in the prokaryotic cells. Now there are actually three types of cytoskeletal structures: microtubules, microfilaments and intermediate filaments. The microtubules, these are actually extremely narrow submicroscopic unbranched tubules which are of variable length, okay, and are formed of the dimers of protein tubulin. Now it was first discovered by D. Robertis and Frenchy in the exoplasm of nerve cell. Now you already know about nerve cells. Exoplasm is present, so in that exoplasm this was first discovered. They develop on specific nucleating regions, okay, and can undergo quick growth and dissociation also. Now they normally assemble together to form a group, but due to colchicine, now colchicine we know which is a chemical used for chromosome doubling, so due to colchicine actually their assembly is prevented. Okay, that means during the spindle formation of mitotic cycle, the assembly formation is prevented due to the application of colchicine, which is known as actually mitotic poisoning. Okay, now they are present in the cytoplasm, centrioles, basal body, cilia or flagella, sensory hairs, etc. Now their diameter is about 25 nanometer with a core of 15 nanometer. The wall is formed of about 13 laterally associated and helically arranged longitudinal strands which are known as the protofilaments. Okay, they are made up of alternate spirals of two related proteins called alpha and beta tubulins. So here the main protein present is the tubulin protein. Now next we come to the microfilaments. The microfilaments are extremely fine filaments of protein actin. Now actin we know where it is present. This is present in muscles, okay, which are not only component of muscle fibers but also it is present in the non-muscular eukaryotic cells. Now they are made up of actin constituting of about 10 to 15% of the total cell protein. Their thickness varies from about 6 to 8 nanometer. Then these are associated to form the hexagonal bundles. And for functioning of actin microfilaments, myosin and related proteins of the muscle are present along with this filaments. Okay. Now next we come to the intermediate filaments. The intermediate filaments, these are the non-contractile, very strong, compact filaments of about 10 nanometer thickness. They consist of 8 tetrameric subfibrils, okay, and it is of about 4 types. The keratin filaments which form the tonofibrils of the desmosomes and keratin of skin. Neurofilaments which form a lattice with bundles of microtubules in the axon and dendrons of nerve cell. The glial filaments, they are the intermediate filaments found in the astrocytes. The heterogeneous filament, which are an intermediate filament found in the muscles, okay, and it is of again divided into 3 types: the synamin filament, vimentin filament and desmin filament. Okay, so these are the 3 basic types of the cytoskeletal structure or the cytoskeleton of a eukaryotic cell: microtubule, microfilament and intermediate filament. Next we come to the flagella and cilia. Now these are actually locomotory organs, okay. If the size is small and numerous, we call it as cilia. If it is longer and few, then we call it as flagella. But their main function of both is basically for locomotion. These are actually fine vibratile hair-like membranes covered protoplasmic outgrowth. Okay, and it is of actually their body parts. It consists of 3 parts. Basal body, it is also known as kinetosome or the blepharoplast, okay, which is embedded within the cytoplasm just immediately next to the plasma membrane. And they are actually microcylindrical structures similar to centrioles with 9 fibrils, okay, which are present towards the periphery of the, without the central fibril. Then these basal bodies, they actually have fine striated fibers that extend into the cytoplasm and are called the rootlets, which help to provide support to the flagellum. That means during the movement it is held. Next is the basal plate. The basal plate, it is an area of high density area which lies above the basal body, and here one subfibers of each peripheral fibers disappear and central fibers develop there. Okay, then next is the shaft. This is a long hair-like exposed part which has a length of about 2 to 10 nanometer in case of cilium, and if it is flagellum then it is about 100 to 150 nanometer. Now the shaft consists of 2 parts, the sheath and the exonym. The sheath is an extension of the plasma membrane that forms the Now while we are discussing the shaft is actually, it is the extension of the plasma membrane that forms the limiting membrane. Okay, it is smooth in case of the whiplash flagellum and it has some outgrowths in case of the tinsel flagellum. Now this is again divided into sheath and the exonym. Okay, now the exonym, it has fibrils. That means the exonyms has 11 fibrils in combination of 9 doublet peripheral and 2 singlet central. That means it has a 9+2 arrangement. The peripheral doublet fibrils, they form a hole inner to the sheath and they consist of 2 microtubules. Now next to this is the matrix. Matrix means this is actually a colloidal complex which fills the whole of the cilium and flagellum. It is formed of proteins. Okay, then linkers, these are doublet fibrils and are connected by the membrane linkers to the sheath. That means they are ultimately linked to the sheath. That means when these fibers are attached to the sheath, then the main connecting source is the linkers. Then radial spokes, they are of radial links between the peripheral doublet fibrils and the central sheath. Okay, so these are all the structure of the cilia and flagella. Their movement is due to the sliding of doublets past one another. That means the doublet fibrils, they slide over one another and due to which they show the movement. Okay, that is the ciliary and the flagellary movement is observed. Now let us observe the diagram of the flagella. Now you can see here, this is the structure of the cilia or the flagella. These are the exonym, that is the fibrils. These are doublet fibers. 2 are present on towards the periphery, 2 fibrils. This is the singlet fibril which is present in the central position. Okay. Then these are the flagellar sheath. This is the central sheath. Okay, these are linkers, membrane linkers. That means the membrane and the fibers, doublet fibers, are linked together with the help of the linkers. Okay, the side portion you can see these lines, these are the linkers. Now these are the radial spokes. Okay, so this is the basic structure of the cilia and flagella, which are the main locomotory structure of the organism. Okay, now so all these are about the cytoskeletal structures. So go through the videos, go through your books, the notes, whatever is provided. And if you find any problem in this part, then please let me know.